Ethan S., Jess S., and Skate P, who have stuck with us for quite a few episodes now. So we really appreciate it. It's really cool of everybody involved. We hope you guys are enjoying the new campaign. Quite a few episodes now.
Hold on.
So we really appreciate it. It's really cool of everybody involved. Somebody is listening to me. Clearly Mark's fault.
Yeah, we're trying new stuff, guys.
Okay, big brother.
He over there trying to live stream shit.
Yeah.
With your sound on.
Fuck.
You know what? Says the guy without a webcam.
What are you, new?
Yeah, but I don't have weird audio coming through again.
That's true. That's true.
So,
Okay, it's fixed now. Calm down.
Okay. With that out of the way, we're going to go around. Everybody introduce yourself, your character, and when I say your character, I don't just mean their name and something that they hate, but also their race and their class. So starting with Risky, we'll go around, hit Henry, Mark, and end with Jay.
all right. I'm Risky. I'm playing Brotisserie, who is a fucked up chicken barbarian. And yeah, he's just an angry piece of shit that looks like a piece of shit. So.
By chicken, he means Eric Krokra.
No, I mean chicken.
They're the same thing.
Literally.
2 foot tall chicken.
Yes.
Okay, I am relevant. I am playing a human bard named Liza who hates stupid people.
Cool. And you have a sweet skull loot.
Oh yeah, that too.
My name is Mark. I play a tabaxi cat person ranger named Seth. And soon we're going to go where I live, hopefully, unless we all die.
Mark cut off Henry. What a jerk.
I'm Henry. I'm playing Karnrath, an artificer warforged, who's just a sad gent.
That's it.
Full
That's
stop.
all you need.
I'm Jay. I'm playing Erdry. He's a half dark elf rogue, supervisor of Brotisserie. And right now, if you guys join our Patreon at any tier, you'll have full access to our live feed as long as you stay a patron, regardless of what the tier changes to in the future. So do it.
Man. Okay, cool. So, the recap, which is quite a recap. We'll start with the short story of Karnrath, who, as soon as the party sold their souls, fulfilled his deal, and spilled the beans that the rest of the party sort of, tried to take over the hotel. Or the manor, the estate that you guys were going to stay at. So he split off, went on his own, and journeyed. The party, however, got a ton of gladiators sent after them. They definitely seem to have pissed off everybody involved in their original dealing, and decided to get out of the city and make their way to Egypt, which is the homeland of the Tabaxi in this world. Along the way, they had to fight some of the gladiators who were sent after them. And after a run-in at a church, they picked up a spellbook, a shard of a magic crystal that seemed to react violently with matter of non-magical nature, and made their way out of there in a hurry as 2 particularly brutal gladiators were hot on their tail. They decided to board a merchant vessel and work freelance as pirate defense. When the pirates showed up, they had the somewhat brilliant idea of taking the crystal, wrapping it in a little bit of magic spellbook paper, putting it in a pile of horse meat, and then firing that out of a cannon at the enemy ship. Which, of course, with a crystal that reacts violently with matter, reacted violently with first the horse meat, and then the wood of the ship, and then quickly the sea itself causing a horrendous tidal wave that carried them up into the dock district at a shockingly high speed as all of the water from the Sylvan Sea split in two and rushed in two different directions. They decided that the best way to solve the problem of being on top of the water was to drop an anchor to try and pull them down into the water. Why they decided this, I do not know, but they did decide this. After being sucked down at Mach speed, they crashed the boat into the ground. On the way down, Dormarcus rolled a nat 1 and flew into the ocean or the sea itself as it, slammed and churned around him. And the party had just hit the bottom of the now above normal ground sea. And the water came rushing in. And so I need everybody to tell me what they're doing except for Karnrath, who is going to have his own thing here in a second. Everybody else, you've got to tell me what you do in 6 seconds to try and prepare you for hundreds of feet of water that are about to crash down on your heads.
Is there any flotation devices type things?
There are splintered bits of wood flying everywhere.
Oh, fuck.
I grab the largest piece of wood that I can find, which may be like the edge of the boat or something, and just take a deep breath.
Yeah, I'm going to do something similar.
I'm going to try to swim away from not swim, but fly away from the wave and somewhat up if I can. I'm going to try to outrun this shit.
Okay, so the way you're in a air bubble, you're
okay.
underneath the water. The ship got sucked down so fast when the anchor hooked that the water went up. You're just in a collapsing bubble at the bottom of this, which actually you're right on the ground of what was the harbor district. It now is under hundreds of feet of water, and that air bubble's about to pop.
Well, then I'm just going to grab onto something.
Okay, so you're grabbing 3 people grabbing onto a piece of wood.
Or any part of the ship.
Yeah,
They're railing.
My
on
Heart
the
Will
ship.
Go On starts playing.
Okay, actually, yeah. Specify what you've got everything around you from a ship just exploding. What are you guys looking for in particular? The biggest piece of wood or a particular piece of wood?
The door.
The floatiest piece of wood.
Okay, Liza's looking for the door. She's
No, I'm
seen
not.
movies.
I was just making a joke.
Oh, that's too bad.
She was looking for Dormarcus.
Oh, there you go.
How? You said it's a bubble,
No.
right?
It's a bubble for a moment, yes.
Yeah. How far away is the edge of the bubble?
We'll say 20 feet.
Okay, I can't get there in time then. You said 6 seconds?
Yeah.
I don't know if 6 seconds is enough time to grab a piece of wood and run 20 feet.
I need to know what Liza's doing, and then we'll
Okay.
let you make some
Well,
checks.
So now that I get to pick 2 spells from any class,
Mhm.
I am going to cast water breathing.
Ooh, nice.
Somebody's wise. Okay. Okay, so you're going to cast water breathing and grab anything or no?
I mean, no, I'm probably fine.
Okay.
I know how to swim.
Right. And this is just like a tornado, but with water and, tons of pressure.
Yeah, it's probably fine.
About the same.
Okay, so we'll start with Urgery. Urgery, you are going to grab a piece of wood. You're going to try and make it to the edge of the bubble and get into the water before it hits you.
No, I want to get to the edge so that the impact of water onto me is as low as possible while also riding the surf of push water to see if it'll push me back up to the surface.
Roll a... We'll say athletics.
18.
18. That's pretty solid. Okay. The rest of you are just sort of holding on.
Yeah.
Okay. Erdry, you will have advantage.
Okay.
You two, Seth and Rotisserie, you will not have advantage.
Dang it.
Liza, you will get to skip some of these checks. Okay.
Dope.
So first and foremost, we're gonna make a roll to deal with the initial shock of the water hitting you guys, and trying to fight off that reflex of gasping. So it's not gonna be something Liza has to do, but the other three of you, I need con checks.
17.
19. It's gonna be that kind of night.
24.
Oh,
Damn.
jeez. Okay. So the water crashes in, and you guys are keeping from gasping in a big mouthful of it. All of you are fine. However, now there is debris. There's shards of wood, there's stone, there's iron. Even your anchor has ripped free and is now flying around. So we're going to have some checks that are just luck-based. There is no skill. These are luck. So I
Oh.
need all four of you guys to just roll me how your luck is in the middle of a friggin' catastrophe.
How many rolls? 3?
Yeah, 3 each is probably a good idea.
Oh. Oops.
And I can use my lucky to do any of the re-rolls?
These are luck-based, sure.
Well, that's good. Fuck. So I got a nat 1, a 4,
jeez.
and a 14.
You got a nat 1, a 4, and a 14.
I can't.
Without doing any of the re-rolls.
Okay, tell me what you get after your rerolls.
I can't keep my dice. on the
14,
table.
12, and a 9.
14, 12, and 9.
Because we're not adding anything, right?
No, you're not adding anything. 14,
And I can't
12, and 9.
re-roll it again.
Okay, so we got 1 failure and 2 successes. Erdry.
So I got an 18,
Okay.
a nat 1,
Ooh.
and a 7.
A 7. That's not good news.
No, I know.
Seth.
I got a 19,
Okay.
a 15,
Okay.
and a nat 1.
Liza.
I got an 18, a 17, and a 5.
Okay. So,
Pretty good. Pretty good.
we'll start back at Rotisserie. What was your first roll?
14.
14. So the water hits you and immediately starts flinging you around. You're pretty surprisingly deftly maneuvering your way through the water. You can see what you think is sunlight at what you think is up. You're really turned around under the water, but you're making your way there. What was your second one?
12.
You continue to make your way up. You're swimming. You're not swimming very strong, but you're swimming as best a dirty, gross bird can swim. Debris is everywhere. In fact, you see lots of bodies. And you see, roll me a perception check really quick.
19.
19. You see Dormarcus floating unconscious just maybe 50 feet away. And by floating, I mean being jetted through the water. And do you go after him or are you going for air?
I'm going to go after him.
Okay, what was your last roll?
An 8.
So you go after Dormarcus and you're going to have to start making con checks.
All right. How many do I need?
We'll come back to it.
Okay.
Erdry,
Yeah.
first roll.
18.
18. You ride that initial burst, right? You tried to strategically place yourself, and it jets you straight up. You do narrowly miss Brotisserie, who is just off to the side of you. You blow right past him, though. That initial burst got you really flying up through the water. What was your next roll?
That one.
As you look down and see Brotisserie sort of struggling, flapping his wing arms, trying to get up, you see him get tussled away and narrowly dodge a piece of wood that then slams into you with brutal speed. And that is going to be 6, 12, 15, 8, 24 damage from this piece of wood slamming into you. And you, that hurts. But you're not down, I don't believe. So you're going to continue to get to swim up towards the surface. What was your last roll?
7.
7. Roll me a perception check.
4.
You're having a really hard time telling up from down, and that
Sorry,
piece of wood hit
not
you.
4. 9. 9. Sorry, 9.
Same story.
Okay.
Everything is dark. Your head is spinning, and you're also going to have to make some con checks. Okay, Liza.
18, 17, and 5.
Okay, 18. You get right up through the water. You're able to breathe. You're fine. You're not really panicked. You're going through. The current is still brutal. You get sucked away from everybody really quick, but you find that the water itself, where you got pulled to, seems to be just a little less dangerous. There doesn't seem to be as much debris. And since you can breathe, it's a lot less panic than everybody else is dealing with. As you continue to swim up, we get to your 17. You're still going fine. You just are swimming along. You're not a super strong swimmer, but you're not getting hit by debris, and you can breathe, so it doesn't really matter if you're really fast or not. And then what's your last one?
5.
5. As you're approaching the surface, you can see the sun, but you're getting really tired. However, unlike the others, you won't be making con checks because you have water breathing. So you can just sort of sit there for a minute and try and catch your breath. But the water's still carrying you, so you may get pushed into somewhere more dangerous. Seth.
19.
19. Okay. You jump in to the water. You're a cat, but you're more of a tiger than a house cat. The water doesn't really upset you for the sake of being water, but it does upset you in the sake that it's a horrifying amount of pressure crashing down on you all at once. Your ears hurt. Your fur hurts. You just don't like it. And you immediately spring as fast as you can up through the water. As you go through, you can see Erdry get slammed into by a piece of wood, but quickly is spun out of view. The world's going upside down. What was your second one?
15.
And you continue to swim up. You have to leave Erdry behind. There's no way for you to get to him or get away from him or anything. You just have to focus on getting to oxygen and air. As you get closer to the surface, what did you roll?
That one.
And you see your anchor come flying in the current towards you. You go to dodge it and narrowly do. However, the chain hooks your paw and starts to drag you back down towards the bottom. Luckily, the current is flinging you sideways as much as you are going down, but you're losing progress. How are you dealing with this?
I'm just like thrashing around and trying to get loose from the anchor. I imagine the pressure is a little bit too much, but
Roll me a dex save.
19.
19. You break free of the anchor. You're down a little bit, but you are only going to take damage from the anchor slamming into your body over and over again as it yanks you around with it. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Damn, she fine.
13, 14, 20 damage.
Jeez.
Yeah, that was a rough
Solid.
5d6.
Yeah.
So, Karnrath, you have been minding your own business in the capital city. You'd made it to the capital and were about to, be rid of the demons of your past. You're a free man. Well, warforged. However, you see a wall of water approaching from the harbor district. What are you doing?
Well, I'm gonna sigh heavily, as the biggest inconvenience possible is headed my direction.
Roll me a perception check really quick.
How to do perception?
I hope it's above a 20.
It's a 17.
Ah, dang. You see a ship on top of the wave cresting across the harbor, and suddenly it gets sucked straight down into the water. With a 20, he'd have been able to see you guys on the
Is this wave gonna hit where I'm standing?
It looks like it's going to wipe most of the capital out, actually.
All right. Well, I'm gonna cast levitate on myself, and then just start moving straight upward.
Okay, yeah. How much can you move a turn with levitate?
Oh, it's like nothing. It's like 20 feet. I'm hoping that I can get out from under most of the debris and whatnot, and the actual pressure of the water more, alleviate the problem more than like maybe avoid it even.
You're going to have essentially 10 rounds before it hits you.
Okay.
So,
that's 200 feet.
yeah, you're going to be above the water, but
Okay.
only a little.
That's
it's
fine.
crazy high.
That is perfectly fine with me.
Okay.
I'm also going to make a turret and put it on my shoulder. So,
Classic Karnrath.
We jump back to, who'd we start with? Brotisserie?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. You are trying to get to Dormarcus. Roll me a con save.
21.
21. Okay. You're swimming through, you're keeping it together. You get to Dormarcus, and now you have to either carry him with you to the surface, which is going to be really hard, or do something that I can't think of. I'm not sure what you're going to do.
Can I tell which way's up and like kind of what's going around me?
Roll me perception. Going to be a 13.
Oh yeah, I beat it by a lot.
Okay. You can tell which way is up. You can tell that the water is still surging towards the capital. It hasn't gotten to the point yet where it's receding back into the sea.
Is there anything I could kind of like push myself, like both of us off of? Just any assist?
The anchor.
Actually, with that perception check, I'll say that you see an anchor that is surging by you, and roll me a dexterity to push off of it, or acrobatics, we'll say.
That's 13.
That's good enough that I will let you do it. However, you send it flying, and as you look back, the chain hooks Seth's paw.
So I saw that.
Yeah, you caused it.
Oh well.
You see it hook him and then immediately start dragging him down, slamming into him over and over again. That'll give you advantage. I need you to make 2 athletics checks. Both are going to have really high DCs for you to pull Dormarcus out of the water.
I have
or to the
advantage.
surface. You have advantage.
Okay. Ooh, that's good. So 19, and the other one was 20.
Oh, okay. You hook Dormarcus, and you push off the anchor, and you're swimming, and you're kicking, and you're pulling. and you do manage to break the surface of the water for a moment. It's still choppy as shit. It's crazy. The water is surging. You're at the point you're at right now, you're behind the main part of the wave. However, you are not out of the, mess of it. You're way above the buildings that are on the ground. Well, we're on ground. They're under the water now. But you're quite a ways above them. Can you make me a perception check?
22.
22. You see a figure in the distance ahead of you from where the wave is taking you, floating narrowly above the water line, but technically the water hasn't quite reached that point yet.
Do I see him?
Roll me perception.
17.
Yeah. You see this bird come squawking, carrying Dormarcus, pop his head out of the water, gasping and flapping like a crippled gull.
I hate to help, but here I go.
Before you get to do that, we will go to, next up was Erdry.
Yeah.
Where were you at?
Not doing great.
Yeah, you got hit by a board.
Hit by a
then,
board.
You started to go up again, though, right?
Yeah.
Make me a con save.
Just one or
Just
multiple?
one right now.
Oh, thank you, Jesus. 25.
Okay, make me athletics. You guys have all made it out of the part that was just straight luck. You're now to the part that's going to rely on your ability to...
My athletics was 11.
Not great. You don't make it very far. You're going to need to make another con check.
Okay. 17.
17. Another athletics. You're not drowning yet.
Thank God. 10.
10. You're keeping yourself from being sucked down with all the current and debris and everything, but you're just not making enough progress up to get out of it. You can see, however, Dormarcus being carried by Brotisserie, which gives you a sense of relief that some of your friends are banded together. And it does give you a sense of what's up and down.
I have an interesting question for you.
Go for it.
Would you say that people are lighter in water?
Are they lighter?
Yeah, like overall weight. Like if you were to gauge the weight of something.
I would say that is a question that requires further explanation.
You
I
want me
was
to pull out my physics textbook?
I was just gonna cast a mage hand and see if I could have some extra help pushing myself up.
You know what? I will let you cast Mage Hand and try and help pull yourself through the water.
Okay.
Roll a Mage Hand dexterity check. We'll just say straight dex. Or no, sleight of hand. We'll give you sleight of hand with your Mage Hand.
I'll take that. So I just nat 20'd.
Okay. That's enough that I will give you one more athletics with advantage to get out of the water.
Okay. So that first roll was going to be I'm going to do a second one, but it's pretty high, so I just want to remember it. That's a 25.
Okay.
So we're going to go ahead and go with that 25.
Okay. You Mage Hand grab yourself by the back of your own shirt and drag yourself to the surface as you're kicking. You break the water as your involuntary breathing reflex kicks in. You actually still suck in a bit of seawater, but only a little bit. And you get a lot of oxygen. Your vision goes from tiny pinpricks back to slowly normal. And then you realize you're still in basically hell. You're on top of a tidal wave. Well, tsunami? Yeah, probably close to tsunami.
Am I able to use, because I nat 20'd my mage hand as a floating device?
If you nat 20 it again.
Fuck it. I'm gonna try it.
Nothing to lose.
Nope, definitely. I mean, I did well, but I didn't nat 20.
Nope. Then your mage hand is sitting there. You manage to get to the surface, but it's not gonna floating device for you.
Okay.
Then it was Liza.
Yeah.
Liza, you have had a moment to take a break. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw really quick.
$16.
16. You see Seth and an anchor fly down beside you, disappearing into the abyss of water fairly quickly before you see Seth break free and start to swim upwards again. He looks pretty beat up. Are you still going for the surface?
Yeah, I don't have anything to help you, Seth. Sorry.
Okay, roll me in athletics with
Oh.
advantage. You're not out of breath like everybody else here.
Good thing you got advantage.
I don't want to talk about it.
There
Oh.
you go.
20.
20. You quickly frog stroke your way to the top. You break the surface, and you can see Brotisserie, Dormarchus, and Urgery are all at the surface now. Everything's still fucked. There's wood, there's water rushing, and you can see you're headed towards the Colosseum, the Grand Colosseum of Palm, which is huge. You're going to be above it, but it's probably going to cause some weird currents, and it's still going to be odd. Can you roll me a perception check as well?
$24.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on to
24.
that number. Remember that. Seth,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
So after the fucking anchor thing, I'm gonna try to still get to the top of the water where the light is. I gotta get out of the water.
Roll me a con save.
Come on. 16.
16. You're not done. You are going to fight your way through this. You're still pretty deep in the water, but you're pushing your way up. Do you have anything clever that you can try, or just swimming?
I don't really have anything clever I can do. All my stuff is like climbing and cat stuff. Not really. I'm not really prepared for water, as it were.
Yeah.
Climb through the debris.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll me athletics to try and swim your way through.
18.
It's very good. You're swimming. You're getting through. You see debris flying everywhere. Can you roll me a dex save? With that, athletics, go ahead and roll it with advantage, actually.
Okay, good. That's a 19.
19. You're avoiding other things. That anchor even comes flying back up from some rogue current and wiggles at you, and it gets sucked back down. You manage to yank your hand away. You're done with that shit. One more con save for me.
11.
You are holding it together, but you're really going to need to break the surface on this next athletics. Let's hear it. We're going to say you've got 15 feet. We'll say 15 feet to the surface right now, and you got to roll above a 15. However far below that or above that is what you do.
Well, good, because I got a 22.
22.
My athletics
you
is
get
decent.
right to the surface. And you see Liza, Urgery, Brotisserie, and Dormarchus, shockingly, all have already made it to the surface. The fine athletic bunch they are. Dormarcus is, however, still out cold and doesn't look good. Liza, you see Karnrath floating above the torrent of water. You've now reached the point where he's probably only 50 feet ahead of you, and the water is below him. He's, I assume, 25, 30 feet above the water at this point. What are you guys all doing? You can all see each other. You can all react. I will generally have you be making athletics and stuff to just get around, but you're not drowning yet.
I want to try to. Well, I'm gonna yell at Conrath and ask him to grab Dormarcus, and I'm gonna try flying out and like holding on to him with my like feet talon things.
Roll athletics.
Yeah, I'll start hovering down there trying to reach for Mr. Dormarcus himself.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a 20.
20. You get out of the water pretty easy. Carrying Dormarcus is a whole other thing. That is tough. He's a big, beefy motherfucker. And as you start flapping, you realize you're not carrying him very far. However, Karnrath makes it down. And Karnrath, I need you to make an athletics as well.
My levitate holds up to 500 pounds, but I'm heavy as fuck too. So, you know, being made of metal or some shit. He said in athletics?
Yep.
Like a 6.
You are basically able to pull Dormarcus out of the water, but not off of the surface of the water. You're just floating right above it. And this is with Brotisserie flapping with all his might to keep him out of the water right now. So you guys have got him out, but to what end? What are the rest of you guys doing? The water is still churning, flowing. Do you have any way to make this safer? Because at some point, the flow will start going back the other way, and then you'll just be stranded in the middle of a sea.
Is there any like objects floating on top of the water that could hold my weight and like keep me?
Like a door that could only hold one of us and not two of us.
Yeah, no, I was thinking like if we just find enough doors that can only hold obviously one person.
I rolled a whole 12.
No.
12. You see other victims. A redheaded woman screaming for a man who definitely has room on the object that she's on as he drowns.
But she's on a floating object, right?
Yes, she is on a floating object.
Okay.
Kick her off of
That's your best option.
What I was gonna do.
You see it. You see her, not intentionally necessarily, but basically surfing on the current. This piece of a door is flying past you. You have an instance option. You can jump up on there, but she seems to believe it can only hold one person. You definitely think you could fit on there with her, but you get the sense that if you jump up there, she'll probably fall off.
I'm jumping up there.
Okay, she lets go and says, no, and then immediately is caught up in the water.
Yes.
She didn't even touch her. In fact, you didn't mess up the balance. She just dropped away as though there was no way. The rest of you, meaning Seth and Liza, what are you two doing?
I'm going to try to get on the door too. I'm very light.
Okay. You're going to have to try and swim to it because
Okay.
it blew past Erdry specifically, but that's fair. Roll me athletics. Only got to beat 14.
18.
18. You swim to the door. You're going to climb up on it. Erdry, I need you to make me a wisdom save.
Please be good.
15.
15. You beat the urge to abandon the door that
Sorry,
only
it-
one person could be on.
It
You
was
beat the
17,
urgery
Sorry.
to abandon
Yes.
the door?
Same thing though. Probably it was a 17. Sorry.
You feel it. You can sense it. The door has some sort of spell placed on it. Probably it was something to actually prevent robbers from breaking into some sort of magical facility. It prevents more than one person from interacting with this door at a time. However, you manage to overcome this urge, and you recognize that probably there had to have been some reason for one person to have abandoned the door over another before. Seth, you are also going to have to make a wisdom save as you climb up on the door.
16.
16, you feel the urge and you fight it off. Both of you are on the door and just fine. There's no problem.
Which one of you is Kate Winslet?
Clearly, Jay.
Yeah. My hair is dark.
I thought she was the one we kicked into the water.
Oh, yeah, but
No, that was a different redheaded woman.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
She's
Whoa,
just
I
trying to
definitely
survive.
didn't say that name. Liza, what are you doing?
What do I see like around me?
You see devastation. No, if you look around, you can see that it's sort of like when you drive up a hill and you look out over a large valley. If you get up when the water peaks and you can see, it's like you're on a moving mountain of water. Everything around you, as far as you can see, is dry. However, you can see that the water is rushing in every direction to cover it. You can see the Colosseum, which is really close to being covered by the water now. You can also see the mountains that are coming up behind that Colosseum. If you look at the water itself, there is debris, and there are a few little, we'll say sailboats, but they don't have sails or anything left. They're just like chunks of the body that are being flung around. Most of them are upside down or half submerged, but there is one that looks barely passable that is approaching you at a dangerous velocity.
Can I try and get on it?
Yes. How are you planning to do that?
Some way that allows me to roll acrobatics.
There is some debris in the water. I'll say that you can try and pull off some crouching tiger, hidden dragon nonsense, although you're a bard, so it's going to be friggin' tough. Roll acrobatics with disadvantage if you're going to do that. If you can come up with something that makes more sense, you can maybe roll normal.
Okay, hold on. I'm scared.
You should be.
Yeah, we're all about to die.
you're all about to die.
Oh, actually, I will say this. There's two other options. You can try and springboard off of the door with Erdry and Seth, or you springboard off of the floating duo and Dormarcus.
Oh, that's
And I won't
mean.
give you disadvantage on either of those, but I will do things to them.
No. Can I just use like sheer willpower instead? Like,
No.
That's what the dice.
Got your three options.
I'm gonna roll with disadvantage.
Oh.
Taking one for the
Wow.
team.
I'm going to start giving you guys way more moral dilemmas. These are fun.
Yeah.
I think I would have killed you guys.
11.
11, you are not going to get on that boat. You try, and the wood and stuff, it's waterlogged at this point. It just sinks under your feet, and the boat slams past you. It doesn't hurt you necessarily, but it does knock you away from everybody else. And you're getting carried away from the group a little bit. What are the rest of you guys doing?
I'm paddling.
I'm still struggling with Dormarcus.
What's your plan? Are you just trying to get above the water? Because you know that you can't fly for long enough to do much with him out of the water.
Yeah, I'm trying to like get him up out of the water and then look for somewhere we can go that might be somewhat safe.
How about you,
Is there any
Cardinal?
flying castles anywhere? If not, I want to look for a sizable piece of like debris that we can land on, that I could maybe levitate the debris itself and maybe give it some more buoyancy there.
There
And then
are
surf
those
this wave out.
ships that I noted before, the mostly destroyed sailboats. There's the one that just blew past Liza, which is a little out of reach. There is another one that is flipped over. It's capsized, but it's not sinking.
And it looks
is
surfable.
It seems to be barely capable of what you need it to be. You can roll me perception.
A natural one.
Really?
Yeah. Why the fuck would I lie about that?
Yeah, I just don't want it to be a nat one.
I'll roll again. Sweet.
You look at it and it looks too risky. You're gonna have to go with something else. There are some very interesting looking pieces of rock that just recently got torn up by the current. Maybe those would have the buoyancy you need, and you shake that idea off fairly quickly. But
You
you
have 20
not finding
intelligence.
anything.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
How about I cast Levitate on Dor Marcus
Ooh.
instead,
Okay.
lifting that fat ass up off the ground, out of the water. And then I kind of hold on to him for somewhat of buoyancy because I don't actually need to breathe. I just need to not get bludgeoned to death.
Okay.
So I'm
You
doing the
can-
Leo. He's now the door, and Brotisseries Kate Winslet, and I'm Leo.
So I'll give you the option to straddle the floating Dormarchus and just ride him like a,
That's my only option. Thank you.
yeah, you can do that. Just roll me either a riding, if you have that, or a straight dexterity.
I don't like these options. A natural 20.
Kidding me?
You wrap your legs around Dormarchus, and he is floating. He's carrying your weight just fine. Brotisserie, you have the option to try and help flap, but you get the sense that you can just land on Dormarchus now. He's got the buoyancy to hold both of you. The only reason you couldn't have thrown Dormarchus just directly onto Karnrath before is because he is not awake enough to hold on. He would have
Yeah.
just slid off into the water.
Yeah, I'll get on that, but I want to look around to check on everyone else.
Do you get to decide how Dormarchus moves, Karnrath? Or is it him? It's
so-
cast on him, right?
So I cast it on him. I can move him up and down.
Okay.
I can move him 20 feet on my turn, but if he is conscious, he can move himself along a wall or by debris or something if he wakes up.
Okay. So you guys can just basically float around on your castle in the sky.
I can show you the world.
Seth, Urgery, you guys are on your door, which
Yeah.
Yeah, I
while
say
it's pretty good, it does pale a little bit in comparison to the Dormarchus ride.
hey, Erdry, should I cast Fog Cloud? Do you think that would help us?
Um,
That way
no,
we don't
no,
see the
I don't.
death
No,
coming.
I think we're good.
Okay, I mean, I could just really paddle then. I don't have any other ability to get us out of here.
Yeah, that I appreciate the sentiment and everything, but I don't really see how it could help.
Okay, so I'm just gonna kick as hard as I can and kick till we get to the dry land.
You're kicking for dry land.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to ask Brotisserie and Karnrath, what are you guys aiming for?
I'm
quickly.
aiming to have a nice conversation with Brotisserie, see what he's been up to, how's life. Nothing huge.
Okay, Liza, as your friends forget you exist.
I
and
said
are
I was
paddling
looking
for
around.
shore. Oh, okay.
So, like,
Roll me perception, Brotisserie.
have you,
That's,
like,
12.
Liza, what are you doing to make yourself visible?
Can I just like wave my arms and like yell?
Play a
Yeah,
song.
let's see a performance.
Oh, okay.
gonna be a 2.
She's been rocking performances so far.
Fuck, 13.
That's not great.
That's what,
What
a
was
plus 10.
what'd you roll?
Yeah. A 3.
What'd you roll, Urgery?
What?
Or
Oh,
not
I-
Urgery, sorry, Bratisserie.
12.
12. That's enough, I guess. You see her flailing in the water. She's probably about 50 feet away, and the current is pulling her a different direction than it is you guys.
God damn it. I guess I'll
So
go.
I'm just gonna keep trying to interrupt what he's trying to do with like casual bits of conversation about like what he's been up to, any adventures he's been on, anything that's made him
I'm
feel
gonna go save
alive.
the bard lady. And yeah, I'm gonna go try to help her.
You're going to fly over there?
Yeah.
Okay. You fly over, and you can see her sort of struggling. Liza, what are you doing? You see Brotisserie flying over, his big dirty bird talons in the air, stretching out for you.
Fucking gross.
Okay.
Are you gonna
well, can
help
just-
me or like?
What's it look like I'm doing? God damn. Nobody appreciates anything.
Liza, roll me on athletics to grab a hold of one of his legs.
16.
16. Brotisserie, roll me in athletics to help pull her a little out of the water.
That would be a 10.
She starts climbing you and is pulling you down more than you're going up.
Like, hold on. Look, just wait.
You see another one of those sailboats coming at you guys. You can either split or you can try and climb onto it as it right as it's going to hit you. And Karnrath, you, I assume, are following Brotisserie since you're trying to have a conversation with him.
No, I gave up on having any friends. The moment he started flying off, I was okay. I guess I'll be alone.
Okay. So each of you, what are you doing? Liza
good.
and Brotisserie.
I'm going to try to get onto the boat.
Okay. Liza, what are you doing?
Same.
Okay. Let's see a joint acrobatics.
Fuck.
So what we're going to
Synchronized.
do is you guys need to beat a 30 together. So I'm going to add your two scores together.
You can do
Wait, I still have one more lucky.
it.
Because I just nat one.
Oh shit.
Fuck. What's that?
I'm sorry.
Okay, well, I got a 20.
Oh, that's an easy check then.
Yeah.
Wait, nat 20 or a 20? Okay.
20 total.
And Liza,
11.
you want to wait. No,
That'd
that's
be a 10.
enough. You just need to beat a 30 together.
Oh, wait. It was acrobatics?
Yeah.
Or. Okay, so then I had 17. Because I was doing athletics, which is 7.
Okay. Liza, you have the ability to use your bardic inspiration. I will let you roll an extra d6, consuming one of your bardic inspiration to try and push you guys past this.
Just need
Pulls
two.
triangle out of pocket, does better.
Yeah.
You just need two. Come on.
Yeah, but I have those boots. Those super sexy boots that boost my bardic inspiration to a D8.
You're right.
Just need
But I'll use one.
Go for it.
Fuck.
Did you roll a 1?
Yep.
Jesus.
Okay, so we have a 17, an 11, and a 1, which puts you at 29.
God damn it.
Come on.
So you have a moment as you flip Brotisserie, you kick Liza up, and you both have a moment to decide one of you is going to make it on this boat, and the other one is not.
I'm going to kick her onto it.
Ooh, okay. Liza, what are you doing?
I'm going to go on the boat.
Okay.
Duh.
Obviously, I'm sacrificing him.
You get
Well,
on
he
the
can
boat.
Fly.
Rotisserie, you are not on the boat. And you get hit by it and go into the water for a second. I just need one quick athletics to make sure you don't go under. Only got to beat a 14.
Fuck.
It's a 12.
Oh.
You hit the boat and you go under, and the current is dragging you all over the fucking place. Liza, you are on this boat. It doesn't look like it's in great shape. It doesn't appear to be retaining any water, but there's no way to steer it, and it's just flying through the water. And you did watch Rotisserie go under the rudder like that sideways boat in the Lost World Jurassic Park, I think is what it was.
As a reaction, like, because I watch as he goes under. Right before he goes under, can I cast water breathing on him?
Yes, I will let you do that.
Okay, I cast water breathing on Rotisserie.
Okay. Rotisserie, you can breathe underwater.
Did I get damage from the boat?
You sure did.
Okay.
36
10,
damage.
12, 13, 18 damage as the
Okay,
boat
ouch.
slams into you and pushes you under the water. You're not, however, out of breath, so you don't have to make a con save first. You just have to make another athletics to get up out of the water.
14.
14 is enough to break the surface,
Hooray.
and you can start flapping your way out of there.
Okay. I want to try to get to the boat.
Okay. You get on the boat. Everybody is within about 50 feet of one another right now. The water's pulling you guys all sorts of directions. What is your methods of moving your various things? Karnrath, you can just will your Dormarcus mobile around.
Yeah, I'll float him over any obstacles or around them, kind of like a Mario Kart-esque simulator.
Seth Erdry, what's your method?
All I can
I'd
do
imagine-
is kick and
Kick. And probably trying to get us in a direction that when we hit land,
I'm such a douche.
it's not strictly just buildings we're running into.
Okay. So you're kicking sort of furiously, and let's see here. At 20 for just chance. That's crazy. Okay, so you find the current pulls you guys kind of to the same spot for a moment. You've got a moment where everybody's right, like you're touching them. You haven't slammed into their ship. You're just touching it. You have the option to climb over. Only a DC 10 athletics to climb onto their ship and all be on the ship together.
Did you say I was there too, or no?
Yeah, where
Like-
you were is where the current pulled them.
Okay, so I can poke them. I just,
Yes, you can do
Okay.
that.
ooh, that's an at 20.
Nat 20, you do a what is that called? Lightning kicks. Like you do a backflip with the stair step kicks, like and just land on the thing. And as you do it, you're like shaking with each movement, and all the water just flares out your hair. And as you land, it just drops sort of silky smooth. You're actually the cleanest you've ever been.
Yes.
Erdry, what'd you get?
Erdry thought that was badass, so he nat 20'd as well.
Fuck.
Where was this
Uh,
earlier?
I know.
Was too busy drowning earlier.
Erdry grabs a hold of the door. Now that Seth's gone, that urge that he's been fighting to abandon the door is gone entirely, and he pulls back on it like he's surfing, catches a gnarly wave, and totally just flips himself up and lands on the deck with his board next to him now. You guys are both on there. You see Liza looking pretty haggard, barely, like laying face down, just sort of like, and Rotisserie has landed like a mascot on the, we'll say the bow of the ship, staring back at you guys. Whereas Karnrath is floating either above or next to.
yeah, I'm just still using Dormarcus like a ski-doo with his arms as the handles, pretending like he's a dolphin through the water. That I'm riding like it's a fucking Free Willy 8. And who looks the worst in my opinion, like health-wise? Like I just want to poke someone while I have the option here.
Roll me perception.
That's 18.
18. What are your guys' respective healths?
I have 25 health,
I have
Oh, shit.
27.
Out of what?
49.
25 out of 49. Seth?
27 out of 47.
Liza?
It's gonna be one of them. 'Cause I've got 44.
And we're basically tied. I mean,
Yeah.
respectively.
Yeah. So they both look pretty fucked. However, they both just jumped on no fucking problem. So maybe they're fine.
How's the bird chicken?
I have 53 out of 71.
Jesus.
And how's Dormarcus? That's another.
Dormarcus is about to make his final death save.
Oh, let me heal that guy real quick. Yeah, I'll just do a soothing hand rub on him and heal him for 8.
Oh, thank God. Let me see what he would have gotten really quick. He would have passed it, but you kept him alive anyway. Dormarcus wakes up and looks at you and just says, "You're not Dormarcus, friend." You're still holding on to his arms, I assume.
Yeah, Dormarcus's enemy. And I just ride him sensually through the water. Kind of just humming
Dormarcus
various Disney tunes to him.
says, "Maybe Dormarcus, friend." He looks over and sees the group and breaks out into a broad smile and says, "Enemies, allies."
Hell yeah.
And you feel him start to pull one of his arms free, and he beats his chest and say, "Dormarcus, fine." And then he immediately pukes up like a gallon of water. He was not fine. You guys are on top of the torrent of water, and you're being carried towards the mountain at this point. So the Colosseum is long since behind you. It's what caused all the crazy currents. Apparently, when you go above the Colosseum, what I thought was going to spread you guys all over the place, instead, Nat 20 just pulled you all into one spot. That's cool for you. However, it did create an interesting effect. You find that the water's doing some weird stuff now. Where you expected to continue it rushing, it's not seeming to spread out the way it was supposed to. And you feel that the mountain has moved from straight ahead of you to your right. And you realize that you're spinning as a slow whirlpool starts to appear. You guys are on the outer edge of such in your skiff.
I'll try to float Dormarcus about a foot above the water and just kind of make my way towards the mountain. Is there any way I can kind of help guide the group with any sort of force? Like if I could like pull them along or
Roll
guide them?
me perception, everybody.
If you guys consent, I can use my last third spell slot and cast water breathing on you.
Yeah, I could have done that a while ago.
Fuck off. I could have.
When we were all
I consent.
drowning.
You're like, wow, I could have cast it on the whole party, but myself
didn't-
sounds good.
I didn't read the whole spell.
Target up to 5 of me.
I don't even need 5 people for just me.
I consent, and Seth got a 17 perception.
19.
17, 19.
11.
Anybody else beat a 17 or 17 or higher?
I got a 12.
Nah.
Okay. 17, 19. You guys see that some of the ship's rigging is laying down. There is a little bit of a sail left. However, there's plenty of rope if you wanted to try and tie yourselves down or maybe lasso Dormarcus Ski-Doo.
I'll try to
I'm-
lasso Dormarcus.
You're going to try and lasso Dormarcus?
Yeah.
Okay. Karnrath, are you trying to catch the lasso?
Yeah, sure.
So, first Karnrath's check here. Let's say dex save.
That is a 1 second. It's a 19.
19. You're going to have advantage, and you only have to beat a 16.
Okay.
That's a natural. Oh, him. Sorry.
Yep, yeah.
I got wasted.
What am I
on
rolling? Am I
25.
rolling deck save too?
You're going to roll either sleight of hand or athletics.
Let's say athletics. Okay, I'm gonna need that advantage. Ooh, that's a nat 20. So 25.
You grab the rope and expertly lasso it out. It's snatched out of the air, and the first yank you get, you realize that while he can't move that fast, you can yank yourself real hard against him being an anchored point to pull you guys through the water and keep you from being sucked away by the current. And as that whirlpool starts to grow, you recognize that's real good. In fact, it's really, really good because shit's about to get wild there. I do need perception checks from everybody again.
A natural 1.
22.
Nice.
14.
Okay, everybody who beats a 16.
Perception.
Seth.
Got
Okay.
21.
We got an Urgery who beat it,
Seth beat it.
and Seth beat it. Both Urgery and Seth.
Mm-hmm.
But no Brotisserie, definitely not Karnrath, and no Liza.
For what?
Perception.
Perception.
Oh. The first one we rolled?
No, another.
Oh,
Another one.
another one. Sorry. Oh, I got an 18.
Hey.
18. Okay. So the three of you see, against all odds, there are two people on a rowboat. They're standing, and they are staring daggers at you. They're huge, and they look angry. You recognize them as the two gladiators who have been chasing you since before you got onto the merchant vessel. Let me see here. I want to get their names right. They are Abalte and Baselight. And one of them is wearing his signature dual shields. The other one wielding a very large javelin, who is cranking it back, attached to a chain, aimed at you guys. You have one round of time to prepare. What are the three of you doing when you see this? So you got 6 seconds.
I cast Pass Without Trace.
They already saw you guys.
Dang it.
How far are they from us?
These guys are probably, right now, they're probably 100 feet away, but they're on the whirlpool and they're spinning close to you. They'll be less than 10 feet away when they get to this side of the whirlpool.
Okay. Well, since I didn't cast my last 3rd level spell slot on water breathing, can I cast Fireball at them?
Ooh, you sure can.
Okay.
Dang.
I'm sorry, you guys. Each creature in a 20-foot radius must make a dex saving throw.
Well, luckily, they're way outside of that because you're doing it on Baselight and Abalte, right? I'm assuming you're attacking them, not the group.
Yeah,
Okay, so they're 100 feet away from you right now.
that's fine. Its range is 150.
Yep. So nobody else has to make a dex save.
No.
Okay. What do they got to beat?
My spell DC is 15.
So we've got a 13 for Baselight. And what the hell? Oh, that's an 18 plus 2. 20 for Abalte. So here's the good news. The one with the javelin ready is going to get hit with the full damage of whatever you rolled.
Yeah.
The one with the shields is not going to take any damage from whatever you rolled. And their boat is going to take full damage from whatever you rolled. So,
Okay.
what's the damage? Before you say it, the boat has 30 health. Okay, damage.
Holy shit.
It's a lot of D10 or D6.
Yeah, it's 8d6.
Yeah, it's nuts.
You have 2 more.
No.
Okay.
I like that the subtitles changed 8d6 into 86.
86 damage? Great, let's do it.
Yeah, right.
Perfect.
Okay.
I got it.
During this downtime, I just want to brag that my maximum health is 69.
28.
Hey, nice.
How much is it? 28?
28 damage.
Okay. Baselight doesn't look like he liked that very much. Abalte shrugs it off entirely, and their boat is really fucked up. It's not going to make it all the way around the whirlpool. It will make it directly next to you guys, but they're going to have to try and jump onto your ship.
Can I, in this time, can I try to, I want to cast Firebolt directly at their ship.
Oh. Yes. I will allow it.
Okay. I don't even know what I would roll for that. Do I just roll damage or?
Roll a ranged spell attack.
So it's.
Is it 8 plus your spellcasting modifier plus your proficiency?
Yeah, it's well over that. It's like, I rolled like a 20 something.
Okay. Oh, yeah. It's just your spellcasting modifier plus your proficiency. So, yeah. I'm thinking of spell save. I always think it's spell save. 20-something is enough to hit it. Roll
Okay.
me damage.
Let me find my D10 here. 2 damage.
What's that?
2 damage.
2 damage.
Solid.
That's
That's a Liza
you
roll.
do manage to barely deal enough damage to the thing that it's not going to make it to you. So, from their point of view, I'm going to explain something. These 2 guys see you get on the merchant vessel. They're angry. They're on their giant Clydesdales of doom and are racing down the shoreline towards the capital, trying to keep you in view. As you get farther and farther away from the coast, they're getting upset. They cast some spells on their horses to try and make up the difference in speed. They're just outside the capital when suddenly they see the water rend in 2. It splits down to the very bed of the sea for miles before they are hit and caught in the wave. Now, these 2 are some of the most skilled gladiators that have ever walked the surface of this continent. They're very dexterous, they're very strong, and they quickly find a boat and just grab a hold of it, holding it together with their sheer strength. One guy even manages to strap his shields down into it. And while everything is going on, they just hold into this boat and hold their breath until it pops out on top of the surface, luckily. At that moment, they stand up, look across, and start getting pulled into a whirlpool before sighting you guys. Somehow knowing that this was all your fault, their rage is sent to a pretty high level. He starts to pull back his javelin, and simultaneously, a fireball appears, incinerates most of their boat. A firebolt appears, incinerates most of their boat. They get badly burned, and they watch a cat cast Pass Without Trace. That's what concerns them the most. What are they hiding? Looking everywhere. They drop into the water, but they're going to start swimming for you guys. They will have to try and beat the current. So they're going to have 2 rounds of rolls at disadvantage each to try and beat 18 in athletics each time. If they can do that, they'll make it to the ship. What are you guys doing?
Did we all have a chance to do something now?
Now that they're in the water, everybody, well, if they tell you they're there, you can hear about them.
Well, we didn't see him throwing fireballs at him.
You saw
No,
them
I think-
do all that. You just don't know what they were doing.
No, there was a Pass Without Trace cast, so I couldn't see it all.
So we have a 20 for roll 1,
I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on myself.
26 for roll 2. So base light passes his Firth athletics.
Just so you guys know, those assholes are in the. You remember those big assholes at the cathedral?
No.
An
Oh,
18
not you.
roll 1.
Well, they're swimming after us. Just so you guys all know.
A Balte, Mr. Shields fails his first one and is going under.
Okay.
Base
I
light
imagine-
is going to make another one.
I'm
So-
gonna fly up and look for him.
Ooh, and that one. Oh, no. Baselight and a Balte both go under the surface. They seem to have disappeared. Rotisserie, roll me perception.
Ooh, 20.
You can see that a Balte's fucked. Those shields strapped to his arms are really not helping. Baselight looks like he's probably going to make it to the surface again. And he's only 30 feet from the boat at this point, but the whirlpool is pulling on him really hard. If not for the fact that this guy is, a giant and super strong, he would probably already be sucked into the whirlpool, which from this height you can see now has a pretty sharp, 200-foot drop straight down. And you can't see the bottom. You're above the Colosseum at this point, but roll me intelligence.
Uh, 17.
You can surmise that the Colosseum probably collapsed or had a vast underground area or something that all the water is draining into.
Do I still have any of my javelins through all this?
Roll me luck. So just straight D20.
4.
Oh,
No.
shit.
You do not have any javelins.
Do I have my hand axe?
Roll me luck.
5.
No, you did not have any hand axes.
I pull out my gun.
I'm gonna just chuck my stupid brass necklace at him.
And then I'm going to load it with a piece of shrapnel. And I'm going to shoot him with catapult. Y'all
Okay.
think I'm joking, but this is really what my character does.
Yeah, go for it.
A 25.
That'll hit.
God damn.
Also, as a bonus action, my catapult will shoot at him for 27.
That will hit as well.
I'm going to do 23 damage. And my catapult's going to do 9.
He goes deeper under the water. The hits both hurt, and he decides he's going to get under more cover of water to try and keep from getting hit like that anymore. However, Brotisserie, before that happens, you also got to throw something.
It's literally just a fucking necklace.
Yeah, roll me straight strength.
I didn't know subtitles bleeped out all the swearing.
Yeah.
Roll 13.
13. Nope, it just hits the water and sort of gets swept away. And that 20, you could have done some cool shit. So, he's dove under the water. You guys are still being pulled by your Ski-Doo, which Dormarcus seems to be kind of enjoying this, more or less. Where you guys are headed? Where? Just away from the water?
I was aiming towards the mountain.
You're
more or
aiming for the
less,
mountain still?
But because it's the highest point, probably the safest area away from the water. So
Okay. You guys are making your way there. The water is all draining behind you. However, mostly what you're finding is it feels like you're racing through the water. You're really not. You're only moving 20 feet at a time that direction. But all the rest of the water is moving hundreds of feet a second the opposite way. You are bouncing on the water like an inner tube on a boat driven by a middle-aged guy who's trying to prove to his son that he can't hold on anymore. And they're whipping around a lot. What you feel is just choppy water. And what you see is all that shit, everything that got wrecked is now being swept back towards that hole. And it's going to be on you guys to make some skill checks to avoid the debris. There are trees. There are chunks of building. There are other boats. And there are also people. Desperate people on little pieces of wood and things flying at you guys at Mach speed. So, first off, tree. What are you guys doing? How are you avoiding it?
sideways, I guess.
Sideways? Anything clever or just moving out of the way?
Just gonna try to move out of the way.
Okay, then I need Karnrath to make we'll say Dex, or Arcana, since you're also using magic.
That's perfect. Thank you. Arcana will be a 22.
You put the pedal to the Dormarcus's face, and you yank the boat out of the way. Tree goes flying by. At a glance, you see that there is a small, angry-looking cat stuck in the tree as it swings by. And then you realize that it's just a mimic, desperate to be saved as it gets swept past you. Then you've got a chunk of a building, the roof of a house. It is flying across the water. The winds, everything's just churning it. It's sometimes on the water, sometimes it's flipping through the air. How are you avoiding this one?
My natural instinct was to try to jump it like it was a ramp, but I don't know if that will work.
Roll me Arcana. You guys can help if you have anything to help, because he will need it.
I
don't
got a
have
26.
anything.
Oh, never mind. He won't need it. The Bard has Bardic Inspiration, so there is one way the Bard can help. But 26, you don't need it. 26, what's that game?
Grand
Arctic
Theft Auto?
Thunder. Arctic Thunder is what I'm thinking of. That arcade game with the snowmobiles. You fly off that, the spray right in everybody's face, and you're in the air soaring for a moment as you see this roof go, and nope, not one. You see your would-be captor pop his head out of the water and just get clobbered by this roof and go flying backwards into the whirlpool abyss. He rolled like garbage. You know, he's supposed to be a real threat, too. So, you guys are doing fine. Now there is a raft of people who have barely held together. They're coming at you guys. You
I'm
can
gonna poke him
tell
with a
that
stick to get him away from me.
You can
steer
tell
as
that
far as way as
they
we can.
they're reaching out. They want to get onto your ship as they, are headed towards the abyss.
What's the raft made out of?
It's made out of tied together doors and mats, and it looks like maybe a body that they just put between them.
How many people are on there?
15.
Whoa.
How many can we get on our ship?
Roll me intelligence.
That's a nat 1.
You can fit all of them on your ship if you care enough.
Oh fuck.
No, we don't.
Let's save them all.
No.
They're doing. I personally think they're doing fine.
That's too. They've got their own thing going on.
Yeah, but they're going down the spinning world.
They'll be
pool
okay.
thing.
Look how far they made it on their own.
We have plenty of room on this ship.
No.
It doesn't seem like 15.
I'm actively moving Dormarcus away as much as possible.
There, you're paddling frantically.
Yeah, I'm just using my mind powers to get him away.
Roll me an Arcana. They rolled a 15 to frantically
That's
paddle.
what I got. It's a 15.
15.
Yeah.
You guys are the same distance apart.
Yeah,
They're
but are they-
paddling, and you're just staying just the same amount. Their struggling is tiring them out.
Yeah, my brain's stronger than their arms, so we'll see how this goes.
I'm
Do
gonna.
we have any
frantic.
extra rope?
There is a little bit more rope. Yes,
I'm gonna tackle Brotisserie.
you're gonna tackle him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to throw a rope to him.
Dex contest.
Ooh.
18.
Okay,
What's that?
18 for Seth.
17.
You manage to tackle, kind of, Brotisserie, keeping the rope out of his hands. And the people have now passed you, and you can see on their faces, they feel like you have sentenced them to death.
What the fuck?
Those were
They're screaming
slavers.
for you.
I think they were slavers.
The one guy you hear say, no. A bunch of these people wouldn't get on board. And he just, boom, shoves the lady off the back of the raft. He's like, just save some of us!
I'm gonna struggle to try to get the rope to him.
Another Dex contest.
8.
12.
Damn it.
You manage to keep him from getting the rope, and you see the raft hit the precipice. And you can see that guy just booting more people off of it, just kicking and pushing and shoving. And he's climbing up, and he's standing on the raft as it goes from flat, parallel to the surface of the water, to perpendicular. And he's standing on the very edge, and you watch his arms go down, and they disappear.
Man, you're a real dick, Seth.
Yeah.
We can't have all those people on this boat. We're not doing anything. Karnrath is
we
keeping
could've
us
still
all on
pulled
this.
them behind us.
I don't know about that.
Well, you didn't try.
Yeah, did anyone? That was really weird how the current moved Dormarcus the same way they were. I don't know. It was just odd.
It's the wind. The wind does that.
Yeah.
As you guys pull along, you can feel the water level getting lower and lower. You are outside the capital at this point. You've been moving forward at a steady pace. You've been dodging most things. And as the water starts to settle, you can now see trees poking up out of it. They look fucked, but there are the tops of trees. You can tell that you are somewhere between the capital city and the coast, the eastern coast. But the roads have been wiped out. The forests have mostly been wiped out. The civilizations have mostly been wiped out. The only landmark that means anything is the mountain, which is slightly to the west of you, but mostly to the north still. You're parallel to the eastern slope of the mountain is where you ended up as the water sort of stops moving. What are you doing? Everything is a waterlogged fucking mess. There's debris everywhere, and you do see random bodies of peasants and stuff all over the place.
Well, I don't think there's anything to do at the city anymore.
Could look for weapons.
Oh yeah. I don't have
I'll-
any weapons.
And you said there's land under us?
Yeah,
at this
you're
point?
you're finally back to
Okay.
ground.
I'll land or Marcus.
Okay.
Okay,
Thor-
Santa.
Thor Marcus stands up and is just like he gives Karnrath a hug and says, Thor Marcus will be your vehicle anytime.
I hope you know you just swore a blood oath to me. Yeah, anytime, man.
And with that, you guys now have the option of where you want to go. Do you want to continue to head east? You can tell from the mountain which direction that is.
I just want to rest.
Yet again,
I feel
you
great.
all ruined my afternoon.
Yeah, the adrenaline is all like rushing away.
I feel like
Okay.
we allegedly
Oh yeah, we don't
ruined
have
your
horses
afternoon.
anymore.
Yeah, all our dope horses are dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, Karnrath, we got some dope ass horses.
And
Ooh,
Yeah, sure.
actually, everybody roll me 1d20. And if anybody gets a nat 20, a horse will still
Oh.
be-
Damn it.
fuck, got a 19.
Nope,
Nothing.
no nat
Nobody
20s.
got it.
Ah, too
Dang it.
bad.
No.
Nope, you don't have any fucking horses. You also barely have any rations, and everything's fucking ruined.
Some of us
Why
don't
would
have
you need
weapons.
rations? Can't you all
But-
just like go on forever without breathing or eating or something? Oh no, sorry.
But do
We'll
I
just
get
do.
experience for like killing a whole city?
Genocidal experience points.
yeah.
Yeah, you guys
you get a
definitely got
promotion?
something.
yeah.
You got the attention of certain horrific deities.
That's good.
That's something.
Yeah.
I think we fucked up.
Is it our boss?
Somebody who doesn't like your boss.
Oh.
I
A
can
rival.
only, I can only imagine you plague bearers brought this tidal wave of destruction.
Well,
Allegedly.
we better get a promotion out of this.
There's no proof.
We didn't disease anyone though.
You know what, guys? What sucks about all of this right now is that guy owed us like 200 gold.
Yeah, we don't get paid now.
Well, I mean, we could just go loot him if we can find him.
You could just loot anyone.
Yeah.
That'd
How-
be him.
Is there any part of the capital left, or is it just gone?
Where you guys are at, you can't see the capital, but
Oh,
you don't
okay.
know if that's because it's been washed away, or if it just never extended this far.
Okay.
Well, we could.
I want to go look
go
at it.
See if there's anything
I-
to steal.
Yeah.
I just mostly want to make sure that at least some of the city's okay.
You're
Yeah.
gonna head back
that's
to
it.
loot the devastated capital, is what I hear.
They don't need it.
Yes.
If they're all
I mean,
dead,
it's on the way.
Okay,
they would want us to have their stuff.
so you
Yeah.
guys are making your way back that direction.
Yeah.
Make-
Yeah,
Karnrath,
downtown.
Karnrath will not join the party. Fuck these guys.
Karnrath.
Well, we need rations.
Karnrath,
Well,
you're
what
the
do you-
hero we
what do you
needed.
think we should do, Gardrath? You did just save our lives, so
Another city that you
excuse
can
you.
destroy. Find another one, I suppose.
We
What
don't
did you have in
destroy
mind?
every city.
Okay, you wait here and we're
Oh.
gonna go look.
Yeah. Is there a nearby city or anything that I would know of? Anything close?
The closest one would be the capital. That is
Well, no, like actual city, like
Yeah,
something that's standing buildings.
something that might have survived. A day east is gonna be Habenial, and then if
go
you
back to Faux Harbor.
northeast, there is Venom Guard.
what about on the way to Egypt or whatever it's called?
Egypt.
Egypt.
Habenial is on the border. It's the border town. You guys are probably somewhere directly between the capital and there.
Okay.
I suggest that we go that way, but I'll make camp for you guys so when you guys get back, you can all rest up and after a nice day of destroying a capital and looting a whole bunch of dead people.
Sounds
no,
great.
I think that we can just go straight to the other city. We don't have to go to the capital.
Well, we
I
could
want to
just
go to the
loot
capital.
destroyed buildings. It doesn't have to be off people's bodies.
Yeah.
I
Sounds
mean,
like-
rotisserie doesn't have any weapons.
Yeah.
So
What do we do if we meet enemies along the way? You just gonna punch everybody?
I have
Well,
a gun
I will.
and a turret.
we were gonna stay here.
Yeah,
I guess.
You'd
I'll
have
just-
to go with us.
I mean,
I'll just
you can
leave.
come with us.
This-
I
Nope.
think that we should stick the group together as much as we can. Honestly, if one of
You
us
won't-
has a moral issue with going and looting a devastated city,
One
maybe
out
we
of
should
5.
just
We
move
should take a
on.
vote.
It's not a moral issue. It's more of just I don't want to because I don't value money or belongings.
uh,
I want a weapon.
Yeah.
hmm. I see.
That's why I offered to make camp while you guys go loot.
That sounds like a real good plan, Karnrath.
I
Yeah.
think we should go loot.
I'm gonna go loot.
Me too.
Go loot.
Loot.
some shit.
Loot.
I'll
loot.
start playing my loot.
Yeah.
So as you guys walk back, you
I rolled a 24.
You catch signs that you're way away from the capital itself. Actually, it would probably take over a day of just walking to get there. If you had your horses, you could make it in quick time. But you do see, for better or worse, in the debris, there's lots of shit available to snag.
Yes.
Steal it all.
So roll me some perception checks. I need to know of anybody who beats an 18.
19. Seth.
18.
13.
Mm. Got a 19 and an 18.
I got a 26.
Whoa.
A 26. Okay. So, the three of you each managed to spot something useful. So, we're going to say, Seth, you find a waterlogged bag of rations and fruit. Most of it is fine, actually. If you look at it, really, the dried meat and everything, it'll be okay if you just let it dry back out so it doesn't get all moldy or anything. And all the fruit is fine. Water didn't hurt it. It's a little bruised, but it's very edible. It's got about a week's worth of food for the whole group in
Oh,
this
yeah.
bag.
Guys, I found food.
Dope.
Surgery. You found a pile of guards in a building that had been ruined. They had apparently tried to hold up in the building and had been first bludgeoned and then drowned. On the guards, there are a number of war axes, pikes, glaives, and battle axes. There's
I'm
10
gonna-
of them there.
I'm gonna call for Brotisserie. Hey, Brotisserie,
What's up?
I found some weapons for you.
Sweet.
What? Do they have any gold or anything in their pockets? Look at you know.
Jesus.
Oh, what happened to let's not go loot the people?
I never said that.
No, he did.
I said if someone had a moral issue with it, not that I did.
You find about 100 gold between them all. In a lot of cases, their gold pouches have actually been rammed into their own skin. So you're going to have to like pull it out of their stomachs or where the gold pieces have been embedded into their eyes, noses, mouth. One
Yeah.
guy even, the whole sack had been rammed most of the way down his esophagus, but the telltale bulge in his throat told you something nice was probably in there.
I'll take all of it.
Okay.
So
You get the gold.
I'm gonna come into him just cutting up some guy's throat.
Either that or just ripping it apart.
Yeah.
Did any of them have like intact boots? Like nice
Yes.
guard boots?
Yeah, they all do.
I want their boots.
Okay.
What sizes?
It's quite a variable group of guards.
I'm guessing
They're
they're elven
all
guards
elves,
too, right? Yeah.
but there's some tall, some short, some petite, some big. I mean, it's 15 of these guys that were in this little barracks trying to make it through.
Can I?
And that's enough variety that there's probably guards clothing for most of you.
I'm gonna take a full group of guards clothing that fits me because I've been wearing a tar shirt for like a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'll do the same. I'll walk over and see him taking clothes. I'm gonna grab some.
Is there a great axe?
There is a great axe.
All right, I'm gonna take one. And are there any javelins?
There are no javelins.
Hmm.
There were glaives. There was great axes. There was war axes. And I think there
pikes.
was pikes. Yeah.
Did the rest of us have the weapons and only Rotisserie rolled real bad and didn't keep his? Or everyone's
If
weapon
you
list?
guys had additional weapons, then yes, you would have to roll for whether you kept them or not. Rotisserie's main weapon got destroyed when he beat it against a fucking crystal.
Yeah. I guess
Hey, Dermarcus, is there any weapons in here you want as well?
Dormarcus comes in and immediately starts taking gold that he's finding scattered around the room and ramming it into the eyes and says, "For afterlife." And by gold, I mean some yellow brick that he's found on the ground. And he say, "Dormarcus, pay for afterlife. Dormarcus, take." And looks around and sort of maybe a little dejectedly grabs a glaive. He keeps poking around and say, "Dormarcus like big fork."
Hell yeah, man. Fuck it.
Where big fork?
Oh, I don't know if there's any in here.
He's like, "All Dormarcus friends uncivilized." And he leaves.
True, man.
what
True.
do I roll to see if I kept my weapons that I had?
What did you have as your main weapon?
Triton.
The trident?
Triton.
Triton, the sword.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, that sword had bonuses to being in the water.
Oh.
Yeah, it did. So, yeah, Triton Forged Blade. So I'll give you advantage on all of your weapon retention checks. So, with that, what else did you have?
I had my Triton. I had a short sword and a pike.
A short sword and a pike.
Yeah.
Okay, roll for your short sword. Got to beat a 15. You have
That's
advantage.
not it. But that is 16.
Okay, pike. Got to beat a 15 again.
That's not it. Come on. 17.
17. You got to keep your stuff,
Yes.
which is shocking considering you got hit by a fucking anvil. Well, anchor, but same thing.
Oh shit! So we all lost all our weapons.
If you manage to hold on to him, we'll see. What all did you have, Erdry? What was your main weapon?
My main weapon was the rapier,
Okay.
and
What
then
else?
my secondary weapon was the elven short sword.
Elven short sword. Roll me to have retained it in the struggle. Got to beat a 15.
I don't care about that rapier, but I want to keep that elven short sword. So this first one's for the rapier.
Rapier, you whatever your main one was, I'm gonna let you have kept.
Oh, okay. So I just rolled an 18
18
for the
okay.
short sword.
So you kept it.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Uh,
I need to roll
Liza.
for the whips.
What?
What was your main weapon? A dagger?
My rapier.
Your rapier? Did you have any other weapons that you were carrying around?
I mean, technically I have daggers, but I don't ever use them, so I don't care.
They're all gone.
That's fine.
The two whips. Yeah. You pull those out, and Karnrath, you can immediately tell they're magical. Everybody else, they're still the same whips that you have been seeing.
You got those shitty whips still with you? What are you doing with that? I haven't even ever seen you use them.
Well, sorry, I haven't had a good chance to use them.
You could have
Can
whipped
I
those
have
people
them?
on that raft.
Are you gonna use them?
Yes.
Maybe.
Please.
If you sign this contract,
Nope.
Are you sure? It'll
Dang
help
it.
me get promoted.
Nah. In my attempt to make I don't really know how people sleep. So or rest. So I'm just trying to like pile wood into not laying on the ground, anything rummaging or any weird debris, so that when they actually can rest, they're not just sleeping on the wet, gross.
Oh, yeah, I
Right.
forgot. You're back in town, so you can't actually help them with the
back
whip.
in the middle of nowhere, I guess.
Yeah, sorry. Back in not town. So,
Oh.
no, never mind. He does not see the whips, but you do have the whips.
Do I have to roll for my pocket sand?
No.
Okay.
Your
I feel
pocket
like-
and.
I feel like I missed like 17 episodes. Like I have no idea. what
You
you
did.
guys doing.
I think I've had the sand for a while.
you
He
did
has
come
had it for
back
a
just
long
in
He just
time.
never uses it.
Oh, I had one item that had stuffed in my pocket that I was going to look at later from the last episode. Would I have lost that? It was the brooch.
The brooch. Roll me D20. You got to beat a 16.
Come on.
God 12.
damn.
12. Yeah, you lost it.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Told you should have put it on. Put it in your
Until I had
damn
a good
pocket.
chance to look at it.
That's
So-
fair.
Was the monastery place, was that within range of the wave?
Oh, yeah.
So when that hits the giant crystal, what happens then?
You don't know. But
Okay.
something bad probably.
That's all he cares about. He just wants to like.
Go back
Well, it
and
gave
fuck with
us
the big crystal some
it gave
more.
us full
Yeah, I know.
HP.
You know, that very question might be a good question to bring up to the whole group so we can maybe plan for a second wave of devastation, but fuck it.
Well, yeah, that's kind of me thinking out loud anyways.
Well, it's just your character was the only one obsessed with the crystal, so you're probably the only one that remembers about it.
Sweet.
So then Liza also rolled well, correct?
26.
Yeah. Your perception was great.
Yeah.
Liza, you find a. Let's find out.
Small child.
Twice.
No.
No. You find. Ooh, hey, that's pretty decent. A set of scale armor.
Ooh.
It's actually pretty light when you feel it. It feels basically as light as cloth, but you can tell it's exceptionally strong. It probably is magic of some sort, but you can't tell for sure. It just has a number of odd runes on it. It shimmers silver across it, but there are everywhere the runes are carved in red, and the scale is black.
Can I roll Arcana?
Sure.
Damn.
24.
Okay. It's called the Elven Armor of Second Chances. You don't know that looking at it, but you get a sense that the armor itself has pretty decent stats. Additionally, the first time that you are hit with piercing bludgeoning, or slashing damage in an encounter, more of that you receive from the same source for the rest of that encounter will be cut in half as the armor adapts to that type of damage. So if something stabs you with a rapier and deals piercing damage, you have resistance to piercing damage from that same thing for the rest of the encounter.
I put it on.
You put it on. Okay.
I don't like the sound of that.
I just saw like Clancy's eyes just like look over at a curse table.
Yeah.
I can't see that there's a curse table. I just know it's there.
Yeah.
I will.
I take it off.
No, you feel that you can't. Let's see here.
Yes.
That's
You
why I
are-
didn't put that brooch on.
Not mistaken.
I still rolled a 24 for Arcana, so
You did. You did really well.
And you still put
Um,
it on for some reason.
You put it on, and definitely all the properties that I said it had, it has. But you immediately feel it tighten, and you can't remove it. It is going to be a. I
It's
need
part
to
of
look
you now.
something up really quick. AC.
It replaces your skin.
It's going to be a 14 plus dex armor. So 14 plus your dex mod is going to be your AC. I don't know what your dex mod is.
4.
4? You got 18 AC while wearing it. It counts as light armor, which is amazing. But probably something bad will happen in it eventually. You just can tell when armor is put on that you can't take off, that usually means something bad. So, with that, you guys have found some loot, and everything else is looking pretty fucked.
So I was looking through my stuff, and my pockets were pretty stuffed. I think I need to do
bet they
some-
were.
do I need to do more rolls, or are we gonna?
Yeah, we
gonna
can
just
we
ta-
can get
take- are
all
you
this
just gonna
out of the
take
way
my
right now.
brooch, or
No. Let's find out what else you
because
lost.
Erdry was hoarding shit. So every
Well, how
time he
much
found
shit?
something. Let's see. He's got 2 necklaces, magic necklaces. He's got
From
a
Batiatus.
slave book, a magic book full of notes.
So your magic book you get to keep. Your slave
Okay.
book is gone.
It was useless now, anyways. All those people are dead.
We freed them for nothing.
And all those slaves.
Yeah. Yeah, never mind. You thinking back to the slave book and the descriptions, you're fairly certain that raft was probably full of people from that book.
Good riddance.
So, that aside, there is the 2 magic necklaces. Roll me 2 d20s. You have to beat a 16 each time to have kept them.
No, lost one. Lost both of them.
Oh.
They're both gone.
If one of us had hundreds
Are
of
you guys
gold
gonna continue to
pieces,
head towards the capital, or has your looting and the horrific injuries and death that you've seen been enough to sate your loot lust?
I got an axe, so I'm good.
I don't need anything else, I guess. We can go back and see Karnrath.
Okay. You get back to camp, and we're gonna wrap up when you guys rest. But Karnrath, are you there?
Yeah, I'll hang out until they go to sleep. And then I'm taking those damn whips.
When
haven't
they
seen
show up,
them.
yeah. Rotisserie, are they in a bag or are they on your hip?
I probably just put them back in the bag because I haven't used them at all.
Okay.
Well, I guess I won't steal those whips, but I'm definitely sneaking off into the night.
Okay. With that, we will end episode 9. The episode about the tsunami is what it will be called from now on. Like all great Drunken Arcanauts campaigns, this one is full of horrific things that happened for no good reason.
To
I'm
tons of
surprised we're
innocent
still
people.
alive.
Oh hell yeah!
There's no way you guys deserve to still be alive. You passed way too many high checks in a row.
I think I deserve to be alive.
Okay, fine. Karnrath, who
Debatable.
floated above the whole thing, you're actually like half the reason they're alive.
Yeah.
That whirlpool was fucking. Oh man.
Whose idea
I
was that
positive
anchor?
I was gonna get you.
So just let me know guys when you want me to save your the whole party again, and I'll come back.
Okay, that's everything, and I think we're gonna call that episode 9. Thank you for listening.